Hello, 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 brothers and sisters. How's it going? Hope you're having a splendid day or evening, depending on where you're at. So, testing. What to do when you fail one of God's tests is the topic of today's videos, my friend. Of today's video, my friends. So, us followers of Christ all of us, each of us, will go at least one season of heavy testing from the Lord. I mean, it's a certainty. He does this in order to prepare us for our blessings, for our next level up, an upgrade, an assignment He has for us in mind, where we have to be rock solid in our faith. We have to have traits that can withstand the tasks that He has in mind for us to do in our upgraded assignment that He has for us, that He's assigned for us before our birth. Because God, as you know, brothers and sisters, He doesn't create us without having a purpose for us in life. Just like He didn't create a bird before creating the sky. He didn't create a fish before creating the sea. And so He didn't create any of us before creating our purpose to fulfill in this life that He has for each of us. And each follower of Christ has a specific assignment. One is a helper, one is a minister, one is a donor, someone who gives money, a helper, someone that casts out devils and people. I'm just giving you examples of various assignments that God has for each of us. He's instilled in each of us a talent, a virtue that can be used by Him in a mighty way. So that's why He tests us in order to prepare us for our next assignment, brothers and sisters. He doesn't do this because, He's a cruel God that wants to torture us. Of course, we all know this. He does this to prepare us. So before telling you what to do when you fail a test, I'm going to briefly go over the types of tests that God issues us. The first type of test is what I call an obedience test. God will give you like a strange, unusual, oftentimes difficult. He'll give you a difficult task for you to do. He'll tell you what it is through a sign or a vision. He might even hear a voice. Some of us hear voices. A lot of us chosen in the Bible heard voices. Apostle Paul, Abraham, whatnot. Doesn't matter what type of communication. He'll tell you what to do, and you have to do it. And it might seem like nonsense. It might seem a logical thing, or oftentimes difficult. Like, for example, go to that place or go to that place. The biggest example of this, best example of this is like what He did with Abraham. He really put him to the test. He told him to go to a certain mountain and sacrifice his beloved son, Isaac. And he went there and he was about to sacrifice him because he had an unshakable faith, Abraham. A very spiritual giant, Abraham was. He knew that if he killed his son, God would resurrect him. And so at the last minute, he told him not to go forth with it. He told him to stop. He didn't allow him to go through with it, of course. He either told him through a voice, or I think an angel of the Lord grabbed his hand at the last minute. I don't remember how exactly, but yeah, he told him not to go through with it. He didn't actually want him to kill his son. He just wanted to see if he would obey, and he did obey. And if you're a follower of Christ, then rest assured you will have this type of test at some point during your testing season. When you're in your testing season, you'll have this type of test. It won't be this cruel, I think. This was cruel. I don't think of it as something cruel. I mean, God's ways are higher than ours, so it won't be this, dramatic, or it might be something smaller, but rest assured you'll get this type of test. So test number 2, type of test is test of temptation. I mean, we all go through this. Even if let's say you haven't watched pornography in a long time, like say a year, and all of a sudden you wake up and you have these strong urges. And even doesn't have to be after waking up. When you go to bed, all of a sudden you might have these strong urges. These strong urges out of nowhere, they're usually demonic attacks from demons. So God will allow these demonic attacks, temptations to come in order to test you, to see if you're gonna fall into sin or run towards Him, towards Jesus, in order to help you to withstand the temptations. Not help you to withstand. You have to actually flee from lust. You can't sit there and fight it on your own strength. You have to flee from it, my friends, brothers and sisters. So yeah, this is the most common test. The test number 3 is a persecution test, what I call it, or the Job test, where you lose everything, you lose everybody. All of a sudden, everybody comes out against you. Persecutions. Satan is throwing people at you like crazy. He's throwing the kitchen sink at you. He's coming at you with everything he's got, because he got permission from God to do it. Just in the same case as Job, where he asked God to give him permission to attack him, attack his finances, his health, his personal life, his relationships. I think his children actually died, if I remember correctly, from the book of Job. And his wife tried to get him to curse God, which of course he didn't. He had these pestilences, these diseases. But he didn't curse God or anything like that. He remained steadfast. Job, another good example of a good spiritual giant. So yeah, this is another test of God, to see if you're going to rely on Him for protection, or if you're going to run towards the world, or if you're going to abandon your faith. So this is a big test that you're going to go through in your testing season, brothers and sisters. And the last type of test is a test of generosity. God will test you if you're generous to the poor and the needy. Oftentimes, you might come across a beggar on the street. Oftentimes, angels of the Lord can disguise themselves as beggars. They often do. And sometimes, it's happened to me. They'll come at you with specific requests of money. I need so-and-so amount to get, for example, medicine for my children, or some food. Specific amounts, not just, when they ask you for specific things, people come at you, then alarm bells should go off in your head that these might be angels of the Lord testing you. My recommendation is, if you have the money, then just go ahead and give them whatever they're asking for. It's happened to me once or twice. I didn't give them the specific amount, but I gave them something. I'm not sure if it was actually an angel or not, but I definitely recommend to do it. You know, even if it's not from planted angel, it's always good to give people to the poor and the needy. You know, not just to pass a test or whatnot. So yeah, that's I went briefly through the types of tests. Now let's get into the meat of the video. What to actually do when you fail a test. Don't panic, of course. Come to the Lord through prayer. In prayer, ask for forgiveness. Acknowledge your transgressions, your shortcomings. Because with God, He doesn't actually ever stop giving you these tests. If you're in a testing season, He doesn't always, you know, these testing seasons don't last forever, you know. I mean, when He blesses you, He blesses you, you know. But yeah, let me. There, in academia, for example, there are two types of tests. The first type of test is what we call summative testing. These types of tests are used to size you up, give you a grade. These are the most common types of tests. Like when you go to college, you have these midterm tests, final exams. These are what we call summative tests, where you receive a grade. These are meant to assess you whether you're worthy, you know, to go to the next level. They're meant to size you up, to judge you whether you're worthy or not. And the second type of test is what we call formative. These types of tests are for the teacher to find out what your weaknesses are, what your strengths are. And these types of tests they're meant to boost your performance. These are not, the grading on these types of tests is more low stake, has less of an impact on your final assessment, for example, because they're mostly to boost your performance, you know, and to get you to find out what your shortcomings are. I mean, God already knows what your shortcomings are. I mean, but through these testings, He's trying to get you to realize what your shortcomings, what your weaknesses are, so that you can acknowledge them, work on them, you know, actively take steps to remove these weaknesses slowly through time. So these tests are more like when you go to the gym and lift up weights. These tests are meant to grow you. They're meant to strengthen you, you know. These tests are meant to prepare you. And these are the type of tests that God issues. These formative tests, what we call academia. These are meant to grow you, strengthen you, increase your endurance to withstand temptations, you know. Because in order to get to the next level, you're going to have to level up your virtues, your endurance to withstand trials, tribulations. Because the role you have to step into actually requires you to have these gifts, these strengths, you know, in order to withstand the pressures of the role that you're going to. I mean, the blessings don't come by themselves. They come with responsibilities, as we all know, brothers and sisters. So yeah, that's pretty much what I had for you today. I mean, I haven't made a video in like a week because I got a new job at the airport, Rodos. That's where I live. Rodos International Airport. It's no joke. The traffic at this airport during the summertime, it's crazy. The commotion. Yeah, I'm a baggage handler. It's a very physically demanding job. I've worked there before. It's very demanding because you have to toss the baggages when you're in the belly of the plane. You have to toss them. You have to stack them on top of each other in the belly and on the cart. You know, very physically demanding. And oftentimes you're there in the scorching heat. The sun is beating down on you. All the commotion from the machinery there, the airplanes. It's a hectic environment, but I like it. You know. So I made a move, and I hope this is the right move. I hope this is what God wants for me in this current season. If not, He'll correct my course. Rest assured. I'll be making videos about these and putting them at the ends of videos, like I did with the cooking one. As time permits, of course, I'll be making some videos here and there. So in the worst case scenario, I'll be posting a video here once a week, even if I'm dead tired from work. You know, I'm not going anywhere. This is my purpose in life, to minister. So yeah, worst case scenario, once a week. But I think I can manage two videos a week, even working. It's not a big deal. And I do prepare a lot for these videos. I'm not someone that can just turn on the camera and start speaking. I have to do some research. I'm not one of those people that can. I'm not really gifted with speaking, public speaking. So I have to prepare immensely. It's very time consuming, but and I have this, and I have this ministry, and I have this math channel, as I said in the video about the idolatry. So it's going to be a little bit difficult to balance all these three things, but with the Lord's help, I think I can do it, brothers and sisters. Rest assured. Please pray for me, and I'll pray for you too. Destroy those buttons like there's no tomorrow. You know the drill, brothers and sisters. Like, subscribe, share the video, comment down below what you think. We're going through some vigorous testing these days. That's pretty much it. And I'll see you, brothers and sisters, in the next video. Bye-bye.